Coming up on today's video, I'm making for you 3 Amaretto Sours using 3 different foaming agents. I'm using egg white, aquafaba, which is basically chickpea juice, and a foaming agent to see which one of those creates the best foam for an Amaretto Sour. And of course, we're gonna be making these cocktails with some flair tricks. So stick around and get ready. As with all of my videos, I'm doing a giveaway, and this week it is one of my tiki shakers. In fact, I'm gonna give 3 tiki shakers to 3 of you. All you need to do is subscribe, leave me a comment, and 3 of these are going to 3 of you next week. Good luck. Okay, let's get started. 3 Amaretto Sours, 3 different techniques, 3 different foaming agents, and a load of flair. Starting with, for me, the basic recipe for an Amaretto Sour. We're doing a double shot of Amaretto straight into the cocktail. We're gonna have some fresh lemon juice. Chop off the ends of your lemon, chop it in half, and then squeeze that lemon juice directly into your shaker. That's gonna be 1 shot. Then we're gonna follow that up with some sugar to balance it out, which is gonna be half a shot of sugar syrup. 2 citrus, 1 sweet is our general balance. And then for this one, we're using egg whites, and that's gonna be 1 shot of egg white. We're not dry shaking, we're just gonna wet shake with ice, the same for every cocktail, 15 seconds, so we can check out those foams on the cocktails at the end of the video. Let's have a look at this one quickly. Yes, egg white never ceases to fail. Never ceases to fail. Anyway, let's straighten that out, see what we got. Super creamy, milky, delicious looking Amaretto Sour. Really, really simple. And we're gonna garnish nice and simply with a big orange peel. Make it nice and pretty. Put it into a parallelogram. Squirt those lemony juices on top of the drink. And that is the Amaretto Sour, finishing off with a couple of dashes of Angostura bitters. Amaretto Sour number 1. Okay, moving on to the second Amaretto Sour. This one's kind of a twist, but it's still an Amaretto Sour, but you'll see what I mean as we go through it. We're gonna start off with a shot and a half of Amaretto, poured off of our elbow, of course, and then we're gonna have half a shot of bourbon. Any bourbon you want, really. I'm just using Jim Beam is what I had. Now for the citrus, I'm using lime and lemons. So half a shot of lime, half a shot of lemon, and it just gives you a slightly different citrus taste to the cocktail. And then we're gonna have half a shot of sugar syrup. My sugar syrup is 1-to-1. 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of water. Now for this foaming agent, we're using aquafaba, which is basically chickpea juice. The juice from chickpeas, put that in there and that will foam up your drinks nicely. So give that a nice shake. Again, no dry or wet, just a straight wet shake. And you'll see we get a really, really nice foam on this cocktail from that aquafaba juice. It's really, really good. And we're gonna garnish this one with an orange peel. It works really well with the bourbon. Again, squirt those lovely orangey juices over the top of the drink. And for this one, we are gonna put in a Luxardo cherry, which will add a little bit of sweetness to the cocktail as well. Really giving it a nice kick. And then obviously finishing off with some Angostura bitters. Okay, moving on to Amaretto Sour number 3, which is kind of a new age Amaretto Sour, fully vegan, as was the last Amaretto Sour. And we're starting with a double shot of Amaretto. Now for our citrus, we're using Super Sour, which is a mixture of different acids. We're gonna have a shot of this in the drink, and it works like a replacement to lemon and lime juice. It has a longer shelf life and balances drinks really well. For the sugar, we're sticking with 1-to-1 sugar, and that's half a shot of sugar syrup. And then for our foaming agent, we're using this, Foamy. And now I'm only using 4 drops of this, and all it is to create foam for a cocktail, which means you get less volume, less liquid, but the foam it creates is really nice. We're gonna give this a nice strong shake as per the other cocktails, 15 seconds with ice, no dry shaking. And then using my strainer there, we're gonna fine strain this as well because we wanna show the difference between the bubbles that you can get when you fine strain. Garnish with the cherry Also a dehydrated lemon wheel, 3 drops of Angostura bitters to make it look nice and pretty and give a bit of flavor. And there you have it. Well, there we go. 3 Amaretto Sours, 3 different ways to make it, 3 different recipes, and 3 different foaming agents. This one was with the egg white, this one was with the aquafaba, and this one was with the foaming agent. This one has been sitting there a little while, so you have to take into consideration time lapsed. I tried to shake all the cocktails the same amount of time, which was 15 seconds each, and the same power, and I tried to keep everything really, really similar so we could have a look at the foam. The egg white hasn't failed and has created a really, really good foam. Egg white, really, really good. If we jump over to the bourbon and Amaretto Sour, we can see the foam isn't as thick, but it's a wider glass, but still really, really good. We're gonna taste it in a minute to see what that aquafaba, which is basically chickpea juice, what it tastes like in the cocktail. And the reason I put it into this cocktail is because it had bourbon. So the bourbon should help disguise the flavor of the aquafaba juice. Whereas if I put it in with this one, I think we'd get that taste of the aquafaba shine through a lot more. We don't really want that all the time. Third cocktail, which was done with the foaming agent. And as you saw, I did fine strain this one. Now, when you fine strain your sours, you get a much finer bubble. So if you have a look at the egg white, you can see the bubbles are quite thick and wide, I suppose, less dense. Same for the aquafaba Amaretto Sour. But if we come over to the foaming agent where I have fine strained, you can see it's a much more even, almost like meringue type foam on top of the cocktail. If we fine strained these 2 cocktails, then the foam would be very similar to what we have on the foaming agent cocktail. All right, let's get tasting. Can't go wrong. Amaretto Sour, well balanced, maybe a little bit too sweet, but anybody who's drinking Amaretto Sours is probably gonna enjoy that one a lot. You can taste the bitters a little bit on top, which is really nice. And there goes the lemon. Let's pop that in there. And onto the Amaretto Sour with bourbon and aquafaba. Different color, but looks really nice. You can smell the orange, obviously. Ooh. You can taste the orange quite a lot. You can also taste the cherry juice, but a really nice taste to it. The bourbon takes away a lot of that sweetness that you get in the first one and gives it another dynamic, another level of the cocktail. The foam is really tasty. The foam on this one is very solid. It's almost like the foam you get on a cappuccino, whereas on this one, it's a lot more liquid. So it's a nicer drink to drink, whereas this one you kind of get drink and less foam. This one you get a nice even amount of foam and drink when you're drinking. So I like this one so far. Okay, this one is the newest. Hasn't been sitting there the longest. Ooh. Ooh. So this one I made it with the super sour, which is basically a mixture of different acids, a replacement for lemon or lime or citrus in general. And the balance on this is absolutely perfect. The foam is really good. It drinks super well. And I'm torn between which one I like best, this one or this one. The classic, good, but not a big fan of the egg white foam. The bourbon one, really nice because of the hint of bourbon on the side. And the third one with the foaming agent tastes brilliant. I think I'm going to choose this as my favorite. Really simple, easy to drink, really nicely balanced. Not over sour, not over sweet. You can taste the amaretto, but the amaretto doesn't come through as a super sweet liqueur like it does on this one. And it tastes really good. So, well done, foaming agent. So there we have it, 3 Amaretto Sours, 3 different ways to make it. Try it out for yourself and let me know how you get on. And for those of you who want to learn how to do all those flair tricks, I'll be posting a video later this week going through all of those moves so you can master them making your Amaretto Sours. I just want to say a massive thank you to all my patrons. You guys are legends. If you want to find out what's happening over on Patreon, I've left a link in the description below where you can find out more info. But a massive thank you to each and every person who is supporting me on there. It really, really helps and really does make a difference to making these videos. Before we go, I do need to pick a winner for last week's video to see who's going to be taking away a Tiki Shaker. Thank you to each and every person that did drop a comment below and for those who continue to stay in the competitions. But the winner this week is Daniel Wiltshire. Thank you very much, Daniel. Drop me a message on Instagram and I'll get that shaker sent to you as soon as possible. And good luck to each and every person for this week. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. That's the end of the video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, comment, all that lovely stuff. And until next time, see you then.